So, what is procrastination? Well, it's basically doing something that you need to do or know you need to do, but just not doing it or putting it off or doing something that would be less productive, right? For example, you need to study for an exam, but instead of that, you sit on YouTube watching videos or you scroll on Instagram Reels, whatever. It's also basically distracting yourself from problems, or your brain sees the task as too big or too complicated to do. This is a problem that I really struggle with personally. There's always something that I could be doing, but instead I choose to do something that is just counterproductive, right? But what I'm going to share today is a little mental trick that has really helped me in a few situations actually get what I've needed to get done, right? And it's helped me beat procrastination. So you're procrastinating and there's a task that you need to get done, such as the laundry. Now, usually what happens with procrastination, or at least for me, is that your brain sort of has a negative association with the task, or it sees it as something that is difficult and hard, like I said before, right? Washing. You see doing the washing as a sort of mundane task or a very boring task, and you find that, watching a YouTube video is more interesting, right? But something that can make these boring tasks a lot easier is basically what you do is you break it down into a smaller task, right? Because in your head, doing the laundry, even though it's a simple and it's a mundane task, in your head, for whatever reason, or in my head, in your head, you sort of see it as like something that's, it's exhausting, right? So you break it down into small steps. So you need to do the washing. Just sitting on your bed, you're watching YouTube videos. How do you start that? Well, it's pretty simple. You just get out of bed first. So you tell yourself, I'm going to get out of bed. So you get out of bed and then you go, I'm going to grab my washing basket. You grab your washing basket. I'm going to walk to the washing machine or the laundry. So you start walking to the laundry. And if that's even a bit too much, like make it even smaller. Like I'm going to take one step. I'm going to take another one step. It's a funny little game that you have to play with yourself. Even if it sounds stupid or silly, like you're doing it, that's all that matters. So now you get to the laundry. You open the washing machine lid. You put one piece of clothing in there, a t-shirt, whatever, that's done. Then you put another one in. And then before you know it, you've put half of your washing in there. And then you sort of get to the point where it's like, well, I've already put half my washing in there. Why don't I just finish the rest and put the rest of my clothes in there? So it's all about building momentum, right? You've already put half of it in. Why not put the rest of it in? That was easy, right? It's sort of a bit like that. Another bonus thing that you can do if it's like a very mundane task, like, cleaning the kitchen or some house chores, is to sort of make the task, the everyday things enjoyable. It's like to make the everyday things enjoyable, romanticize your life, make the little things beautiful, find the beauty in the little things. It's that kind of advice that really helps make life, a mundane life, more sort of interesting, because you make it interesting in your head. If you need to study and you're struggling to study or you're struggling to focus for whatever reason, go to a beautiful library and find a nice spot to study. A change of scenery can really help, it can really elevate you, and it can really get you out of a funk. And it helps me get out of a funk so much. So to summarize everything, if you are procrastinating and you need to get something done, break down what you need to get done into smaller, more achievable steps. So therefore, you will be more likely to actually make a start to doing it. And once you've started doing something, you can ride off that momentum and keep on doing it, if that makes any sense. So that is basically a little sort of mindset or trick that's helped me get out of that procrastinating sort of state. And to whoever's watching this video, hopefully at least one person can actually get out of procrastinating and get what they need to get done today. And I really hope that this finds someone and that it finds the right people.